All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 140-pound division, where Shakur Stevenson gets a message from Gervonta Davis's camp, a member of his camp, the illustrious Kenny Ellis, who challenges Shakur Stevenson to not cherry-pick Teofimo Lopez, but fight Antuane Russell instead. Let's talk about that and analyze it. Please watch to the end of the video and analyze it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the excellent opinion and point a spot on, I believe, take from Kenny Ellis, a co-trainer for Gervonta Davis, a friend of the channel, who's been on here several times. And in fact, he was on the channel with me about a year ago, a little over a year ago, with Shakur Stevenson, where they had a really wonderful conversation. I think this is a continuation of that to a certain degree, as Kenny Ellis was speaking on Mill City Boxing and challenged Shakur Stevenson to not cherry pick Teofimo Lopez and to fight Antuane Russell. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really means a lot, especially to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this, because, hey, man, it lets us continue to do the work, pay the electricity, all that good old stuff. Now, hey, Kenny Ellis is right. Kenny Ellis says that is a cherry pick from Shakur Stevenson picking Teofimo Lopez, because he doesn't believe that Teofimo Lopez's head is really in to the sport of boxing at this point in time. They feel like he's not focused and that he's just pretty much doesn't have any dog left in him, which is pretty much why he always fights to the level of the competition that you see, the reason why he's playing all these kind of goofy games going back and forth. So they're like, look, man, if Shakur Stevenson wants to say that he is the best fighter in the world, then when you go to 140 pounds, fight the guy that is the best 140 pounder. So who are the people that are at 140 pounds? So you have guys like Subriel Matias. You have guys like Antuane Russell. You have, well, Devin Haney is no longer there. But those, you also have really, really solid fighters like the ex-champion that was in that division, Alberto Puello. They just very, very talent-rich, very, very talent-rich division at 140 pounds. So while Teofimo Lopez is looking shaky, hey, man, it's only kind of reasonable that that Gervonta Davis' team would say, hey, man, if you say that you're the best, fight the best. Now, that I believe, and I think Kenny Ellis mentioned two people. One was Antuane Russell, who is he believe that he is the WBA champion, and Subriel Matias. I don't remember which belt he has. I think he may have the IBF right now, but he's back as a world champion as well. So if you're going to go get the belts, don't go for the WBO weak link. Go for the WBA, go for the WBC, go for the IBF. Well, I don't know what he thinks about Richardson Hitchens, who is the IBF champion, but Richardson Hitchens is probably the least experienced and the least dangerous of all the people that are at 140. For me personally, I think that if you look at the fights for Shakur, the best fight for Shakur is Antuane Russell, because I think if he beats Antuane Russell, that really sets him apart as far as what he's done as being a 4-division champion. Because Antuane Russell only has one fight, one narrow loss to Alberto Puello, but He is somebody that is going to push the action, is a big, strong 140-pound fighter with tremendous skill, and is somebody a southpaw. He's a southpaw, just like Shakur Stevenson is a southpaw. So those guys match up very, very well. Gary Antuane Russell also is a very, very smart fighter with a very, very intelligent camp. Brother is Gary Russell Jr., former 126-pound longtime champion there, and who in his last fight came out looking like $1 million. Now I know Shakur isn't going to stay there at 135 and fight Gary Russell Jr. So because that's just not going to be a good look. He may win the fight, but dog, I'm telling you right now, Gary Russell Jr. is going to cause these boys some real problems with the excellently high IQ that he has. But he's in the corner for Gary Antuane Russell, so you know that he's going to have a very, very intelligent corner, and they're going to know what to do in preparation for Shakur Stevenson. They're from roughly the same area, so financially, the fight is going to be a big deal. And I think that it probably is not going to be as big a deal as, say, Teofimo Lopez. The fight economically is probably bigger for Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson than it would be with Shakur and Gary Antuane Russell, but not too different, man. It would sell really big in DC if it's Gary Antuane Russell. It'll sell really big in New Jersey or in New York if it's Teofimo Lopez. Probably sell really well in New York if it's Gary Antuane Russell, because all of those guys are from that same area. But I think the biggest thing that it would give Shakur Stevenson if he fought Gary Antuane Russell is it would make for a very, very exciting fight. He's either going to sink or swim with Gary Antuane Russell, because Gary Antuane Russell is such a come forward fighter, so busy, so active, throws a lot of punches. Some people would kind of question his defense sometimes. I think he does get clipped a little bit more than I would like to, but man, he's a terrific, terrific fighter. Definitely, I think the most dangerous guy at 140 pounds because of his hand speed, because of his tech, because of his IQ in the ring, and because of his power, man, in both hands, bro, and because of his pedigree. So, Shakur Stevenson ain't really mentioning anything about Gary Antuane Russell that I've heard. I haven't heard him say anything about Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias would also be very, very solid for that same reason. Now, Shakur Stevenson, I think, would probably have an easier time outboxing Subriel Matias, because Subriel Matias is pretty much, the type of fighter that what he's going to bring, man. He's going to walk forward and he's going to get hit a lot. However, he's going to be throwing so many punches and throwing in between your punches that you're going to really have to work and work and work. Both of those fights are very, very exciting fights if that Shakur Stevenson could participate in. And I think both of those fights point him towards a fight with Gervonta Davis, because if he's able to beat him in the division ahead, then you got to say, okay, man, like, look, bro, what's Gervonta going to do as far as a signature win, a legacy type of win for his career? And I think that's a fair statement. Not saying that he needs Shakur and he can't get that from somebody else. Personally, I think it's a shame that he didn't get it with Vasily Lomachenko, but man, it is what it is, man. But I like what Kenny Ellis had to say, and I do believe that's what Shakur Stevenson should do. That's my take, and I'm not going to call him a duck if he doesn't, though. If he fights Teofimo Lopez, but if he fights Teo, beats Teo, then these guys got to be on the plate, man. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Deuces.